welcome to the Erica Russo Show. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I am beyond excited that the universe has led you here today. And if you are an OG and you continue to come back, you continue to press play, you continue to lean into your own intuition, hug your inner child, do the work, I love you. Thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you for tuning in each time a new episode drops. I am so incredibly grateful for you guys. I'm so incredibly grateful that I get to sit here at my desk in my home with some headphones on and I just get to talk about the things that I want to talk about. It really is such a blessing, and I really am just from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for your continued support. Now, if this podcast is helping you, if it's giving you clarity and insight, if it's giving you those aha moments, if you look forward to tuning in each time, I would be eternally grateful if you can head on over to iTunes or now Spotify and leave a review. Those reviews allow this podcast to get to more ears. And now, more than ever, I think that we can all agree that conversations like these, especially this particular episode, I'm very excited to talk about what we're going to talk about in this episode, can really help a lot more people. Before you go ahead and click submit, make sure you send a screenshot to me at Instagram at Erica W. Russo, and I would love to send you a free gift for supporting this podcast. Now that that is all said and done, you guys, it is officially fall/autumn, whatever you like to call it. And here in Connecticut, we have been really pretty fortunate with the weather. And my God, has it been just so nice. And it's finally starting to, the leaves are finally turning and it's just looking like my favorite time of the year. So wherever you are, I hope that you are enjoying the changing of the seasons like I am. I am diving into some pretty easy and delicious crock pot recipes, if I say so myself. I just made something called pizza in the pot, and I was very apprehensive about it at first because I was like, I don't know if everyone's going to eat this, but it's actually quite delicious. And it was like ground beef, green pepper, pepperoni, jarred pizza sauce, mushrooms in a can. Don't knock it till you try it. What else did I throw in there? Mozzarella cheese and cheddar cheese and garlic, and you just literally throw it in the crock pot and you make some pasta, and once it's done you just dump it on the pasta, and it was a hit. It's pretty freaking good. So it's definitely something, if you are looking for an easy recipe, I would highly recommend it. Now that that is all said and done, this was one I have been really deeply just really just in alignment, if that's the best case. That's like the best, I don't know how to explain it, but I've really been tuning in and just being within myself and extending my prayer practice, extending my meditation practice, just really enjoying my Jupiter in the 12th house transit. And I've been really into prayer lately. Now, I am someone who, here's the thing with all of my weird rituals and walking this spiritual path, is what you're going to recognize is so many people that live this certain way, live spiritually, are spiritually attuned. They have rituals and practices that they even forget that they do. They forget that it's not every normal human being does these things. And one of my personal things is prayer. And I didn't recognize it for a very long time, just how much I lean into prayer, until lately, where I'm like, I actually pray a lot throughout the day. And this particular episode, I wanted to dive into why prayer is so powerful, as well as share some case studies, but also share some of my personal favorite prayers that I have used for years with you guys so you can begin to integrate them into your day-to-day life. Now, prayer is so powerful because there's been studies revolving around the topic of prayer and if it actually does enhance the experience of the participants. And there was a study done in 2009, and it was called a randomized trial of the effect of prayer on depression and anxiety. And what they did was participants who had depression or anxiety were randomized into two groups. And one group got direct person-to-person prayer contact. This was 6 weekly 1-hour prayer sessions, and then another group did not. They measured depression and anxiety using the standard scales and positive emotions, optimism, spiritual experiences that the participants experienced, as well as cortisol levels. Now, what they found in this study was that after the sessions, the people that were in the prayer group showed significant improvement in depression and anxiety, more positive emotions, higher levels of optimism, compared to the controlled group. Now, these improvements were still significant 1 month after the study was closed, as well as 1 year later, if the people showed maintenance of a prayer ritual. Now, another study that I found, which was very interesting, was a prayer with pain. Okay, so prayer-based intervention, if it is it effective for pain management. So this is for chronic illness. And what they did was they gathered RCTs comparing private and community prayer versus control for people in pain. Okay, so they looked at outcomes such as pain intensity as well as pain tolerance. And what they found was the analysis showed that in many of these trials, people in the prayer condition, the people that were praying, reported lower pain intensity as well as higher pain tolerance. Now, some comparisons showed fairly large effects with this. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if you guys watched Charlie Kirk's remembrance. I don't know what they were calling it. I guess it was a funeral slash honoring remembrance. It was televised. And Erica Kirk said something in her monologue that really stuck out to me. And it was very simple, and it wasn't one of the big things that she said. And all she said was, faith is a habit, and the more you feed it, the more it grows. And when she said those, I was like, yes, like absolutely. That's so incredibly true. Just from my own personal experience, when it comes to spiritual practices, especially when it comes to meditation for me, meditation has really always been my go-to throughout this whole experience. The more meditation I did, the more of a positive impact I saw in my day-to-day life. So here's the thing when it comes to meditation practices for me personally is I notice that you almost become immune to your meditation practice. So for example, if you're meditating 15 minutes a day, your brain and your body becomes immune to that. So it's almost like you need to ingest more meditation, if that makes any sense. So for a very long time, I was only meditating once a day for 15 to 20 minutes. And I noticed that my mental health and just my overall well-being wasn't where I necessarily wanted it to be. So I went back to a practice of 2 times a day for 20 minutes each time. And within days, I would say within 3 days, I saw such an incredible improvement in my overall well-being. Now, the American Meditation Society says that a practice 2 times a day for 20 minutes each session is ideal for the best benefits. But I'm to the point where it's like, we are human, we are busy, we have to-do lists, we have shit that needs to get done. If you can find the time to get 2 sessions in per day, that's amazing. But if you can only get one, you only get one. You know what I mean? Everybody's life is so different, but at least you're trying to get one session in, right? Now, there are things, so again, we go back to that particular quote where it's like faith is a habit, and the more you feed into it, the more it grows. The more of your everyday life you lean into faith, whether that is through a meditation practice, journaling, prayer, anything, rituals, whatever the case may be, you're feeding your faith. Okay, you're feeding your connection. So much of the spiritual experience is faith based. Okay, you're finding yourself right here listening to a spirituality podcast because there's something inside of you that's like, I want to, I want to I want a deeper connection to my soul. I want to deepen my relationship with God. I want to deepen my relationship with Source. I want to experience divinity. I want to know the divinity within myself. If there wasn't a tiny little inkling of that that's hanging around you right now, then this is the wrong podcast for you. But quite literally, it is. This is a consistent habit. Okay, faith is a consistent habit, and it really, it like that one little thing. And and I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. I am well aware that the Kirks are Christians. I'm not Christian. I'm a spiritualist, but I believe in God as much as they do. I just have a different relationship with the Bible. With that being said, the I sometimes that's all you need to hear. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just one or two sentences coming from somebody that clicks something, that flicks a switch. And I was surprised at how much that flicked a switch for me because it made me really think about my own personal experience with faith and my own habits, my own daily rituals that allow me to come closer to God and to my own soul. So it's very true. Now, I wanted to talk about some of my personal favorite prayers that I have been using for a very, very long time. And these are things that you can begin to integrate to your day to day life right now. So, the first thing is requesting the most benevolent outcome. Okay. I don't know where I found this. I believe it was back in like 2019, and I was watching an episode on Gaia or something along those lines, and a man was talking about how when he is working with the divine and when he wants something, he will request the most benevolent outcome. And I was like, well, that's interesting. Now I'm going to start doing that. And when I tell you the shit works, it really works. I use it often, believe it or not, for parking spots, specifically in Trader Joe's, because the parking in every single Trader Joe's is horrendous. And it's as simple as stating, I request the most benevolent outcome for a parking spot. I request the most benevolent outcome for this conversation. I request the most benevolent outcome for my child to get a good grade. I request the most benevolent outcome for this. That it's simple and it's effective, okay? And the more I have noticed when it comes to that specific prayer, the more you use it, the more effective it is. Now, another prayer that I wanted to talk about was one that I remember I just made up myself. And that was as simple as when I would put my kids on the bus in the morning. So they're older now, so they walk to the bus stop. But for a very long time, from kindergarten to fifth grade, I had to drive them down to the bus stop. And every time I would watch my kids get on the bus, I would say, Archangel Michael, please protect my kids from any harm while on the bus and at school. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. I said this religiously every single day. Every single day. I think that there was one day where I forgot because I was in a hurry and we were late for the bus and I forgot to say it. And I kid you not, that was the day where my kids got home from school and they were saying how there was a kid on the bus that started a fight with them. I'm not joking. So that was like my indication that it worked. Like the prayer definitely works. So again, if you have kiddos on the bus or if you have family members traveling, Archangel Michael is the best archangel for anything travel or automobile associated. And again, it's as simple as Archangel Michael, please protect my children from any harm while on the bus or at school. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. And that's it. Okay. So that's one of my personal prayers. Now, another prayer that I wanted to share. This is one that I like to do at night. And this is from C.C. Meigs, who passed away in 1869. And here goes the prayer, okay? Lord, help me live from day to day in such a self-forgetful way that even when I kneel to pray, my prayer shall be for others. Help me in all the work I do to ever be sincere and true, and know that all I do for you must needs be done for others. And when my work on earth is done and my new work in heaven's begun, may I forget the crown I've won while thinking still of others. Others, Lord, yes, others. Let this my motto be. Help me live for others, that I may live for thee. So that is one of my personal prayers, and that's one that I like to do at night. And then last but not least, I want to share it's not my prayer, but it is called the Unity Prayer. Okay. And this is one that I've known for a couple years, and it's a good protection prayer as well. So if you are looking for protection, but also just to pray, this is a good one. And it starts with, the light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. So those are my personal prayers. Like those are my go-to prayers. Oh, and last but not least, another prayer that I use is, God, spirit guides, Theo, who is my main guide, archangels, whoever the hell is listening, help me, please. Oh my God, you have to laugh. I'm sorry. And honestly, it is very true that sometimes when I just need somebody to listen to me, that's all it sounds like. So, those are some prayers that you can start bringing into your practice. I hope everyone is having a good day. I hope everyone is well. Be sure to come follow me on Instagram at Erica W. Russo, and be sure to check out my freebie library where I have a ton of extra resources there for you as well. As always, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys around the internet.